I think what was good about what he done today is that we didn't see him get a lot of chances himself in the way that we showed at the start, how he's in that box. We didn't see a lot of crosses coming in for him, but his work rate off the ball and making sure that his partner was getting the ball in Bueno and people were able to come in and join in with him. You know, he shows that, like he said, sometimes he's here in left-back position, closing down. He's shown that he's got a lot more to him than just maybe staying in the box. And once they do start getting the ball into him and stuff like that, I think we're going to see a lot more. We're going to see a lot more from him.
Let's have a look at the first goal, because we heard from the goal scorer. From an Arsenal point of view, how did you see this?
Well, you know, it was one of those where it just felt a little bit like people are on the edge. You look at it, I don't think he's close enough to him here. I think, can they talk to each other there, you know, to clear it out? It's a poor clearance, and from here, I think he's got to get to him. And then near post. It's gone in off the near post. You know, it's always disappointing to see that. I know it's gone through his legs, but, you know, it's gone in off the near post, and it's disappointing to see.
I think Chambers has got to take Canos down his left-hand side as well. Send him away from goal. Don't let him cut in. It's unfortunate for him because he was the one clearing the ball, and then, of course, the ball bounces straight back to Canos, so all of a sudden he's got to then get out quickly to him. But he was slightly unlucky it went through his legs, but you've got to prevent that before it even happens. And we see as well, just before he clears the ball, was that out or was that not? It's a very close call. Brentford got the benefit of the doubt, but I don't think anybody will begrudge them because they certainly deserve this result tonight.
Yeah, it was inconclusive. We all felt that at the time. And after that goal,
yeah,
what about the Arsenal reaction or lack of it?
Well, there was a lack of reaction simply because, again, you know, Arsenal passing the ball at a kind of pace that I think that Brentford and the intensity that they had, they dealt with it pretty well. They got themselves back in positions very easily, and the ball weren't coming through. It weren't coming through them, through the middle of them, through the lines, whereas people again join in, Emil Smith-Rowe round the corner, scoring that kind of, making those kind of chances, I should say, where you're actually pulling people out of position. You're committing players to actually come out of the hole, come out of their comfort zone. And Arsenal were passing it around in such a slow manner that it made them very comfortable. And you could see that they were just getting more and more confident with the fact that I don't think they're going to get past us. Pepe, I don't think he went past these man once tonight. Emil Smith-Rowe was tight when he got the ball. When Saka came on, and obviously Kieran Tierney's still, for me, our best player. You know, it was very. We started to make more chances, but other than that, we needed to get it through there. We didn't get it through the lines so as we can really commit them, and that is where we're going to have to make a massive change at some stage this season.
Did you ever feel in the second half Arsenal were going to get back into it?
Second half, I thought they were a lot better. First half, I thought they were abysmal, really abysmal. Didn't hardly create anything. Second half, they started, as Wrighty said, started penetrating the passes. Ben White in particular, Kieran Tierney played a couple into Smith-Rowe, got turned, and then they started, you know, running at the back four. And I thought, or the back three, but I thought they were better second half. But still, it's same old Arsenal. They look soft. They looked like you can bully them. And if I were Mikel Arteta, I wouldn't be bothered about the type of player coming in. I'd want a couple of leaders just to come in, even if they're not going to start. That team just screams at me as if weak, young, inexperienced, flimsy. They need direction. They need 2 or 3 real old senior pros to teach them the ropes. Not how to play, but how to prepare, how to win, how to be hard.
Need to be brave.
Yeah, exactly. There's no direction.
Braver. That's all it is. Simply because I think that we definitely, no one can't tell me we ain't got the quality. I'm not having that. But you got to have the heart to match what Brentford are going to bring, and then you've got to be brave enough to pass the ball into areas where, yes, you might lose it. But the fact is that we're not creating enough chances. I think it was one shot in the first half. Second half, I thought the chances that we did make, I thought Xhaka on his left foot was a good chance, at least hit the target. I thought the goalkeeper made a magnificent save from Pepe, but not enough. Not enough penetration, not enough players who are taking the kind of chances and making the kind of creative moves in the game. What's going to get us to upset a team like Brentford who've just come up? It's a worry. It's a worry.
OK, let's see if the manager is worried, because we can now get the thoughts of Mikel Arteta.
Mikel, obviously a disappointing result for you opening game of the season. Just where do you assess that? How do you assess that?
Yeah, extremely disappointed. It's very different the way we wanted to start the season. We didn't start well the first half. We conceded a goal in in an isolated action, but we didn't win. We didn't cope well enough with the long balls and second ball, and that's all they needed to create some difficulties for us in the back line. And then we conceded the second one on a long throw that we know that they can do. And then the biggest worry is the threat that we had in front of goal. How many times we arrive in the final third in great situations, but not enough threat, not enough shots on targets. And if you don't do either of them in the Premier League, it's really difficult to win.
Obviously, you're missing players in those areas, so that threat is.
I don't want excuses, honestly. It's with what we are. We miss players. We have other players. I don't like to hide, and I don't like excuses.
What was it down to then? If there's nowhere to hide, how do you?
We weren't good enough to beat them. To do certain things, you have to do some basics right, and we did it. And in the box, we need more threat as much as possible. When we get in this position, we need to be much more ruthless, and we weren't tonight.
You mentioned it there, especially the second goal to concede from a long throw. How frustrating is that when it's something?
It is, but it's very difficult. They put somebody on the keeper. They can hold the keeper. There is no free kick. The keeper cannot move. The ball lands there, and it's a goal. It's allowed in the Premier League.
In terms of what else could have happened in that game, in the first half, when you're looking at incidents that you could have had, do you feel that you could have had a penalty, should have had a penalty?
I don't know. I haven't seen the image. Okay. There's nothing to do now.
What will you tell your team after this? Because I can tell you're frustrated and there's lots of different areas that you need to work on. And for an opening game, it doesn't get more frustrating than that.
It does, but this is a long run. And we started in a disappointing way. So we'll review the game, speak to everybody with cold heads and try to put them right as quick as possible.
OK, thanks, Mikel. Cheers.
Not the start that he wanted. No excuses, he says, Mikel Arteta.
No, there is no excuse for that. It's very hard to be optimistic about that performance. I don't think that, you know, from his point of view, from the manager's point of view, I would be worried about the intensity in which the team played. I can't understand what they would expect Brentford to be. Do they think they were going to sit off and let them play? They're going to have to earn the right to play. I already listened to all the Brentford fans that I've been speaking to. They were looking forward to the game simply because they knew where they can cause Arsenal problems, and then it's going to be up to the Arsenal players to then say, OK, we're going to match you for that, and then we're going to get the quality to come through. It didn't happen. We didn't match them for anything, and they grew in their confidence, and then they deservedly won the game. Could have been more.
You mentioned 2-0 there in front of Bernd Leno. You've both watched it over again. Do you feel he has a point?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I thought it was a free kick, I must admit. I mean, it's a very, very difficult set piece to try to defend a long throw in. And when you let it bounce, and it's even harder. I think Saka at on the edge of the box to start with lets his man go. But then there's definitely a grabbing on the goalkeeper, and I think it was just enough to give a foul. You see at the top of your picture there, we've highlighted Saka. He lets his man go. Norgard, who eventually scored the goal. But then we'll see a better angle of the grabbing on the goalkeeper from behind the goal. And I think this is the first good angle, I think. Right, you can see quite clearly he goes to pin him, grabs him to start with, and then you see it even better from behind the goal.
And that was 2-0.
There it is there, look. You can see him grabbing him. He's got to do more to get out of that situation. But for me, I would like to see our players go in and attack the ball firstly. I don't think we attacked it very well. It's a good throw, yes, but you know, you're saying Saka there. I don't think Saka, who's not long come on, should have the responsibility of that. I think one of the defenders should pick him up on his way in.
OK, well, I can tell you one man who didn't think it was. It's been fantastic for myself and Michael and Ian to be here and to witness that. And as I said, not what Arsenal wanted to see. What will it give them going forward in terms of, because we talked, didn't we? They're the second most inexperienced Premier League team ever to start a season. But to do that now at the first hurdle.
I don't care what confidence you've got. Of course, Brentford have come up last season through the playoffs, won more games than they've lost. They're going to be a confident team, but I don't care how confident you are. When you've never played in the big league, when you've never played against players like this before, there's always a seed of doubt until you go and actually do it. No matter how good a player you are individually, can I make it? Can I make that next step? Can we as a team make that next step? All of a sudden, that box, and it's a big box, has been ticked. Now they can go anywhere. They've beaten Arsenal, they can go anywhere with a whole load of confidence to take on anybody in this league. And I tell you what, if they play like that, they've got a chance against most teams as well.
Righty?
Well, what I have to say about Brentford is that, like I said, it's a long time coming. They've got to get a lot of credit for the way they played. Spoke to one of their journalists yesterday, Jay Harris, and he said what they're going to do is they're going to press. They're going to press hard. They're going to press people like Pablo Mari. They're going to press Xhaka. They're going to make sure our goalkeeper's under pressure. And I was more worried about, are they going to be able to keep up that intensity? They did it, and they did it, and they grew in confidence. And in the end, you know, we didn't compete. We don't look any better than we were last season. I think Ben White done well against Tony tonight. You know, so his distribution was very good. Kieran Tierney, you're always going to get that out of him. There's more players to come, but like, there's 18 days left in the transfer window, and they're going to need to do something, because if you're going to play against a promoted team and you're not going to be able to at least match them for the endeavour and the intensity that they're going to have, it's obvious they're going to have it, then it's going to be a long season for Arsenal. It's worrying. You know, we've got this thing now, this Amazon thing. That, of course, they'll be happy with it because there's so much controversy and there's so much, like, negativity around it. But for Arsenal fans right now, watching that, you know, it's embarrassing for us. It's embarrassing for us.
Very strong words. We'll get into Arsenal in a little bit later on in our post-match here, pitchside at the Community Brentford Stadium. But let's hear from the man. Whatever happens now will have his place in history. The very first Brentford player to score a Premier League goal. He is the 24-year-old Spaniard, Sergi Canos.
It's so loud. What do you make of it?
Yeah, the first goal. Well, I can't. It's very difficult. This is amazing. I've been dreaming about scoring the first goal here in the stadium. You know, these people deserve it. We deserve it. So I think it's a great 3 points. First game of the season. We need a bit of calm, you know, and then we go again next week.
You're not going to get any calm yet. But your goal, that first goal, is one for the history books as well. It's Brentford's first Premier League goal. It's the first of this season as well, and the first in this stadium. It must feel like a real moment for you.
It is. It's a fantastic moment, you know, for me and for my family. My two uncles are there. They came all the way from Spain. I've got all my family in Spain watching the game. So for me, my family, for this club, it's amazing. It's a step forward.
Tell us about the second goal. Have you guys been working on those long throw-ins?
Yeah, we've been working on a lot of set pieces. We always have something ready, so we are happy that we're pleased that it came through. So yeah, fantastic.
It looked like you guys had so much more today than Arsenal had to offer. They couldn't handle your press either.
Well, I think we took the game to our side. I think we pressed high, we were brave, and I think we deserved the 3 points.
I'm going to let you go because I know you want to go and enjoy this, but for now, Sergi, I think we can say you're top of the league.
Yeah, thank you.
Well done.
Table. Sergio Canos there. He's got all his family over from Spain, the rest of them watching back in Spain. That's what this day feels about, doesn't it? That kind of moment.
It does. I mean, it's new for everybody here, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, they're not used to this. Yes, they're used to winning games, and they've had a fantastic run of form for a few years now. I mentioned before the show, they've been so close to promotion a few times, and they've finally got off over the line. And then it's a couple of months of wondering, are we good enough to stay in the league? Are we good enough, you know, to play Arsenal first game? You know, are we good enough as individuals to play in the Premier League? I mean, there's so many questions. And they've just had a massive tick there tonight. Their confidence will be absolutely flowing, and they'll be just buzzing for the next game.
Yeah. Well, I hate to interrupt you, Michael, but Ivan Toney is going to join us live. Pitchside in front of the Brentford supporters here. Come in, Ivan. There we go. You got your own mic.
Okay.
Good. Yes.
Very well done.
Okay.
Very well done.
Thank you very much.
Sinking in that.
Just about. Surreal, you know. I think we deserved it in the end. The lads put in a shift, and we're putting out a statement, you know. We're not here to just dip in and out the league. We want to stay here and as long as we can, and I think it showed today.
What was the mindset from the off? Because it seems you settled really quickly.
Just get into him, really. We want to, like I said, we want to put a statement out there. Just get into him, run about, and if you work harder than the opposition, then you give yourself a great chance. And I feel like we've done that today, and we deserved the 3 points in the end.
Ivan, I was looking and analysing some of your goals throughout last season, and I was admiring the way that you nip in front of the front man. You love a little, you know, the last moment, just nick in front of your marker, and I think that's such a good skill as a striker. But some of the viewers, of course, going to look forward to seeing you all season. What type of goals, what type of player are they going to be looking forward to watching?
Like you said there, I like to play on the last man, nip in front of the defender on the blind side, but I feel like I can score all sorts of goals. Hopefully this season I'll get a goal outside the box. The words didn't matter me about that. But listen,
I'm no one to talk. I couldn't do it either.
I'm a box striker, but listen, as long as I'm getting on the score sheet and we're getting 3 points, that's what matters. But I'll put myself about, that's the main thing.
Ivan, I saw the intensity in the team. Tell me, yesterday when you're getting ready to play Arsenal, what was you thinking? We're going to put them under pressure. Is there players you're looking at that team and thinking, you know what, we could get at him, we could get at him, we could get at him? Was you thinking those things?
I think obviously the way Arsenal play is clear to see. They like to try and play with the ball in a possession-based football. But I feel like the weakness is if you press them high, then they do make a mistake. And I feel like they made a few mistakes there, but we didn't quite punish them on them chances. But I feel like the chances we had, we took full advantage.
How's it feel to be in the Premier League yourself?
It's crazy. It's not quite sunk in yet, but obviously today it's been crazy. I can't describe it. Obviously, we're here now. We deserve it off the back of last season.
I'm delighted for you.
And a word for these supporters. I mean, they're still inside the stadium. And we know that, thank you very much, right on cue. We know that you've played behind closed doors here. I mean, the atmosphere tonight and the scenes at the end. Put that into words.
You know, it's actually like, I feel like this is the first time I've played in front of them, like a full crowd. Obviously, we had a little glimpse in the playoffs, but it wasn't quite full, even though it sounded full. But today it was just great. I couldn't hear myself think. And they was their 12th man on the pitch today, and they got us over the line for the 3 points.
Because you think this is going to be a really difficult place for teams to come this season, don't you?
Yeah,
I do, and especially when you've got two strikers like Brentford have got, they're going to give every back four, every back three a lot of problems this season. I'm certain of it. And I wanted to ask you as well. Inevitably, I don't care who you are, whether you're a young kid coming through or whether you've banged in goals in the Championship, there's always going to be a question mark. Can I do it at the next level? Of course, you're going to go out and prove it week in, week out this season.
Of course. Obviously, everyone's going to doubt you. They were saying that when I was in League One, can I do it in the Championship? Look what I've done there. And then people obviously question now, but only time will tell. You'll see coming into the season, I'm quite confident I'll be up there on the charts.
Good luck, man.
And we saw the connection at the end with the supporters, and there's a real spirit between the players and the fans, and we saw that tonight at the full-time whistle.
We're one big family. From the cleaner, the training ground, to the supporters here. Everyone shows each other the same respect. We're one big family, like I said, and it's a good club to be at. Not just because I'm here. I'd say that if I was from the outside looking in, it looked like a decent bunch, and it definitely is.
And what does it give you as a group to go out and put a performance, keep a clean sheet as well, and do that against Arsenal in your very first Premier League game?
Yeah, obviously it means a lot. Obviously you see me tracking back there in the left-back position, defending. I feel like the strikers get the credit when we defend from the front, but listen, obviously everyone putting a shift. The main thing is defending, and no matter where you are, striker, left winger, centre-back, you've got a job to do, and clean sheet means just as much as scoring to me, so that's important as well.
And just finally got a couple of away games now. I mean, how important is a good start for you when everyone's saying, oh, well, they've only just come up, they've no Premier League experience?
Yeah, it's very important. I feel like everyone was probably doubting us to win today. They were probably saying, if we lost today, probably going to lose the next game. But the main thing is getting the 3 points today and take game by game, and I'm sure we'll give ourselves the best chance possible.
Listen, really well done. Thanks for joining us. Those supporters appreciate it as well.
Cheers.
All the best, bro.
Ivan Toney, thank you very much. Indeed, live pitch side. I think the supporters over there enjoyed that more than we did.